Tonight is a big game for the Canes. Tonight is a big game for the Canes, which means we can learn something. We can find something out. I'm looking for the Stars to perform, which is more likely today than maybe another day because Aho's getting hot. And despite all of that, I actually think last night's Canes game, kind of boring. Not a bad thing. Kind of boring, though. We talked about it yesterday. They're
just a ho-hum 4-1 win?
Oh, are you making fun of me? Or are you
No, I'm being serious.
It was a ho-hum 4-1 win.
4-1 win.
There were long stretches of play where the Flyers weren't even getting shots off. Like, actually, let me go ahead and find the tweet just to start off the show with research. Walt Ruff at one point in time, the team reporter for the Canes, who, by the way, live tweets most, if not all games, unless he has like a family wedding or something like that. But he was tweeting about it, and at one point in time, he just went like, I know the game's not over, because here it is. As we inch closer and closer to the final horn, which was my interpretation of, I know it's not over yet, but he said, as we inch closer and closer to the final horn, it's worth taking a second to reflect on Carolina's defensive game over the final 40 minutes. With 5:59 remaining on the clock, the group has allowed just 7 shots since the start of the second period. So that's a period and 3/4 of a period. They went 6 or 7 shots allowed. That is a ho-hum 4-1 victory. That's what it is. Were there highlights? Yes. Sebastian Aho with an even-strength goal, which was very nice, unassisted. He set up Roslovic for a wildly skilled goal at the end, which felt like, did you really have to? Probably not, but if you could, why not?
Why not?
It was a ho-hum 4-1 victory, which is a massive compliment to that team. The fact that you can have a ho-hum 4-1 victory is a massive compliment. Aho is bouncing back. I have a outside-the-box suggestion for the Carolina Hurricanes, because Aho obviously is a core member. He's going to be around for a long time. I think you need to play him in every preseason game, big minutes, and give him like 10 hard scrimmages prior to the season, because, maybe it's the like, I'm a prisoner of the moment thing, but we've done some research on it because Aho started scoring on a little bit of a scoring lull. It seems like most seasons takes him 15 to 20 games to kind of get up to where he's looking for his own shot and producing kind of in a selfish way. He can set up teammates because he can do that in his sleep, but it does seem like right about this time of year he's starting to crank it up, and then of course the last 3 games he's been starting to crank it up, and he gets the 5-on-5 goal we've all been looking for, and he's starting to look like the Aho we expected. So if it's just going to take him 20 games, I think you just gotta play him in every preseason game, play him in like 10, 12 really hard scrimmages, go send him to the AHL. I don't care. If you can start him with like game 17 of the regular season, he'll be a 100-point scorer, which does open up another level of ceiling for the Canes. The Canes have been really good, right? Part of the reason why I'm jokingly calling them boring and calling a 4-1 win ho-hum, even though we all know in professional sports every win is difficult and you celebrate every win, and there truly is nothing as a ho-hum any victory. But the reason why I'm joking and I'm playing it that way is because they've been consistently good this year. They've been monotone, right? It's the same note over and over, but it's a good note. Right, where they've had their small blips, their bumps on the road, whatever you want to call it, but they've overcome adversity with ease. They've stayed bought in, and they've always gotten back to a relatively high standard of hockey. Now imagine if you have everything I just described, which includes Martin Necas on a heater, which includes a defensive system that we know is proven and has guys still getting used to it, which includes Jack Roslovic and Jordan Martinook scoring at levels higher than we expected, which includes all of that. And then you add on top of it Sebastian Aho playing 30% better than he's been playing. That takes you to another level. That takes the entire team to a whole other level because of games like tonight at the New Jersey Devils. Right? We've been tracking this, right? Dennis, 1 out of 10. 1 to 10, I guess would be the way to put it.
Okay.
How big of a game is this one? And I'll give you the cliff notes, because I know you know them, but somebody might not. It's a road game at the New Jersey Devils, division rival and a division contender, right? If they get 2 points and the Canes get 0 tonight, they are tied in total points. It is the second half of a back-to-back, so legs will be a little tired. Brett Pesce and Dougie Hamilton are top 3 in ice time for the Devils, so there's a bit of history there with some Devils.
Don't forget about Stefan Nason.
Don't forget about how could I? That's on me. Hand up. My bad. Stefan Nason, crowd favorite when he was here. I'm assuming crowd favorite now that he's there. So go ahead and say 1 out of 10. How big of a game is this?
I'm going to put an 8 on this one.
I agree.
I think it's a solid 8, divisional game on the road, like you said, and you're still trying to hold that top spot in the Metropolitan Division. Yeah, it's a solid 8. 2 really good teams playing against each other. Solid 8.
And if you wanted to talk me into like an 8.5, I'd be here for the conversation. Like I think it's more 8+ than it is, rounding up from a 7-6. This is a big game. And I've been one of my beliefs, and I think most people would agree with me, but I don't pretend like it's unanimous. One of my beliefs is the bigger the game, the more you need your stars to play great. Right? It's why the postseason, the history of playoff games is often written by the stars. There might be the one random role player on fire game, but for the most part, if you're going to win a series, if you're going to win multiple series, your stars are going to have to play well, because in big games, it just happens that way. In big games, it often comes down to the guys that sell the most jerseys. Sebastian Aho would be one of those guys. If he's playing better, the games like tonight are the ones where you're going to notice. What if they outscored their last 3 opponents 12-2?
Yeah.
Those games, no disrespect. You might not even need Aho, right? It's like, I'm going to let my little homies take care of you. And then you go set up, Jack Drury to get, punched again. The guy takes a lot of hits. You can go set up, Jackson Blake to score some highlight goals. But against the Devils, I don't know if you want the rookie to be the guy setting the tone. I don't know if you want Eric Robinson to be the guy setting the tone. I think you want it to be Aho, Svech, the stars. And that'll serve you well for the postseason. Sebastian Aho talked after the game about how important it is to be able to play consistent.
I feel like we've been playing, a pretty similar way for a long time, and not just this season. And I feel like now we have, guys maybe in a bigger roles, and we're kind of taking that step to carry the team. Netchi, for example, he's been, a really good player for us the whole year. So it's just kind of keep building what we have here, and I do believe that it's we got to be consistent throughout the year.
That's the words of Sebastian Aho after the game. The word coming out, a little bit of news from earlier today. The news coming out from Eric Tulsky, the GM, that Freddie Anderson, the opening day starter in goal, surgery on his knee. He will be out 8 to 12 weeks. He's already been out for a handful of weeks already.
Yeah, he's been out for about 4 weeks already.
So you're looking at a 3+ month absence, 3 to 4 absence in total for Freddie Anderson. I wish I was surprised. I'm getting real nostalgic about this show recently.
Oh yeah.
When I took over this show, it was a year and a half ago, and you might follow the league, you might watch the team, but you don't follow it like you do when you're covering a team. So I started asking around people in the know, and right, okay, tell me the real deal on so and so. Okay, how good is so and so really? And every time I came to Freddie Anderson, there was a range of responses, but they all ended the same way. Some people, he is solid. Oh, he's a good player. Oh, yeah, he's a really nice guy. Some would say multiple-time All-Star. Really good dude. Him and Ronto were a nice little pairing not too long ago. Mm-hmm. There was that. But almost everyone I talked to, whatever they said, I like him, I hate him, I love him, he's the best, he's the worst, he's too tall to play goalie, whatever they would say, it almost always ended with, if he can stay healthy. Oh, he's a great player if he can stay healthy. Oh, when he's out there, he's a multiple-time All-Star if he can stay healthy. He and Raanta really locked up the league when he was healthy. All he's done since then is get hurt kind of often and get older. You're not going to get out on the other side of that, surprising me when he gets hurt. Because 2 years ago, everybody was already throwing the, if he can get healthy, if he can stay healthy. I don't think there's even much debate now. He's a good goalie, solid. If he can stay healthy. Right now, he is not and won't be for at least a couple months.